Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. This is Nikhil Parekh. In this video, I shall be giving you a recitation of my poem that is titled, What's Most Important and Quintessential. This poem of mine has been published in my book that is titled, Love vs. Terrorism, Volume 2. Therefore, without wasting a further instant, ardently wanted to commence upon with the recitation of my poem, What's Most Important and Quintessential. It really doesn't matter, even an infinitesimal trifle, whether you started to write from the extreme last page of the notebook or penned the first alphabet from the barren first. What's most important and quintessential is that every word you wrote fostered the spirit of oneness and brotherhood, amongst every echelon of humanity and living kind, and for times immemorial. It really doesn't matter, even an insouciant trifle, whether you shake hands with your compatriots using your left hand or irrefutably solid right. What's most important and quintessential is that every handshake of yours is altruistically compassionate, brings you more closer and closer with the spirit of immortally unassailable humanity. It really doesn't matter, even an inconspicuous trifle, whether you converse in your rustically bohemian native language or use internationally aristocratic English to convey your uninhibited flurry of thoughts. What's most important and quintessential is that every word that you seamlessly utter forever mollifies, indiscriminately prejudiced war, and melanges the entire universe with the ocean of invincibly unfettered peace. It really doesn't matter, even an ethereal trifle, whether you sleep in the voluptuous night or unabashedly snore every minute of the blazingly hot day. What's most important and quintessential is that every time you sleep, What's most important and quintessential is that every time you sleep, you do it solely. You do it solely to recharge every element of your body, to indefatigably fight against even the tiniest insinuation of evil during the hours you are holistically awake. It really doesn't matter, even an evanescent trifle, whether you timelessly work in the plush interiors of the plush corporate office, or build tent, and write poetry, inexorably staring at the sun, inexorably staring at the sun and iridescent moon out of boundless kilometers of empty space. What's most important and quintessential is that every time you holistically earn your livelihood, you use it to the most unprecedented limits to exist as the most royal person alive, and at the same time afford the same royalty to your fellow comrades in inexplicable agony and pain. It really doesn't matter, even a threadbare trifle, whether you alighted your left foot forward or commenced each exhilarating expedition of yours with your right sole inseparably embedded in chocolate brown soil. What's most important and quintessential is that every time you dare tread on effulgent earth, you dare tread on effulgent earth, each footstep of yours unflinchingly marched forward only towards the sky of inimitably priceless truth, honesty, humanity, and righteousness. It really doesn't matter, even a hapless trifle, whether you pray with devoutly folded palms or raised all your fingers in synchronized chorus towards resplendently gargantuan bits of sky. What's most important and quintessential is that every time you pray, you earnestly ask for the celestial amelioration, for the celestial amelioration of living kind as well as yourself, from the innermost recesses of your amiable heart. From the innermost recesses of your amiable heart. It really doesn't matter, even a deteriorating trifle. It really doesn't matter, even a deteriorating trifle, whether you ate innocent blades of vivaciously whispering grass or replenished the disastrously emaciated walls of your intestine with chicken to mollify your hunger and inevitably survive. What's most important and quintessential is that every time you eat, what's most important and quintessential is that every time you eat no further, eat no further, eat no further, eat no further after your hunger subsides, and use every ingredient of fresh blood and use every ingredient of fresh blood formed in your body for the benevolently priceless service of torturously squelched humanity. It really doesn't matter, even a transient trifle, whether you married the girl of your own religion. It really doesn't matter, even a transient trifle, whether you married the girl of your own religion or chose to tie the nuptial thread, with an orphaned urchin residing fathomless continents, languages, traditions, and religions apart. What's most important and quintessential is that whosoever you chose to marry, try and inundate that person's life with unsurpassable happiness. And spawn and spawn and spawn and spawn and spawn a new civilization of fresh life, perennially amalgamating every bit of your virility with hers. It really doesn't matter, even a fugitive trifle. It really doesn't matter, even a fugitive trifle, whether you were buried an infinite feet after death, or whether your body was burnt to parsimoniously obsolete and disappearing ash. What's most important and quintessential is that till the time you inhaled your last breath, you fruitfully and by the grace of omnipotent God spent every instant of your life disseminating the message of eternal peace and wholeheartedly embracing every form of panoramically divine life. It really doesn't matter, even a fugitive trifle, whether you were buried an infinite feet after death, or whether your body was burnt to parsimoniously obsolete and disappearing ash. What's most important and quintessential is that till the time you inhaled your last breath, you fruitfully and by the grace of omnipotent God, omnipotent God, omnipotent God, omnipotent God, omnipotent God, spent every instant of your life, omnipotent God. God spent every instant of your life, omnipotent God spent every instant of your life disseminating the message of eternal peace and wholeheartedly embracing every form of panoramically divine life. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for hearing me. From the innermost layer of the heart, wanted to thank you for the victoriously spectacular patronization to the poetry.